experience and taking taking a step on that. Having said that, let me go to another illustration of such a solution. Now, this is a completely different type of customer, or a different type of company. It's an European media company, and they really place video contents next to some of the say newspaper or similar magazine kind of content. So you might have seen a lot of places where just next to certain contents which are written about maybe a political persona or maybe a particular historical situation, a video might be available for you to click and see. Now, this is a company which kind of have relationship with many such news and magazine kind of websites, and they have a partnership by which they place these such videos in those partner websites. And the way they make money is when a customer or a visitor who is kind of moving through that page gets excited about seeing a particular video, and they come and probably roll on that video or click on that video. Advertisement is played, and based if that advertisement is really seen for some time, they make money, right? So what is really important for them is how and what kind of ads do I really show to an individual. And for an example, let's say customer A who browses through such websites, the customer is a male customer, it's 35 years old, highly web savvy, and by the way, because they're unknown customers or rather visitors to the websites, the media company does not really know what exactly is the profile of that customer, right? The only thing they know about that customer is about what have they really done in each of these partner websites. So they know that in partner website 1, they have never visited that website. They know that in partner website 2, they probably had 3 visits. They have seen certain videos. They have actually watched and clicked certain ads. They might have even and they might have also seen certain type of contents in that website. Probably in a website N, they have probably had around 12 visits. They've seen several number of videos. They have mainly saw the sports pages, and they have never clicked on any ad on that page, right? So those are the type of information which is available, along with probably a very broad level demography saying, this partner website 1 is really a beauty magazine for women, and mostly women really come there of the age of X to Y. And there is another website which is mainly for around nutrition value, specifically kind of made for elderly people, and that's where typically people of age more than 40, 50 typically comes to that page. So that's the kind of information which is really available to this company, and the challenge for them is to really figure out when the customer next time visits a partner P website, what advertisement and video to show. Remember, when a right video is shown, you obviously have a much higher engagement. You have a video about maybe a female beauty product, and you show it to a male person. It's not only disengaging, it is also a little irritating for the individual who is kind of browsing through, right? So when you are showing a right video, it is giving a better experience, better engagement, and also higher chance of clicking on the advertisement, which also individual, end of the day kind of makes money for the company. On the other side, when you are showing a wrong video and advertisement, it's certainly a lost opportunity. You got an opportunity where you could show the right kind of content and advertisement and made a money, but you lost that opportunity. And then obviously you kind of probably in some cases irritated the customers by showing something completely disengaging and completely irrelevant. Now, how do I really solve this challenge, so to say, right? Now, how typically the problem is solved is number one, you need to really integrate all of this information, right? So how we did it is, using Hadoop, HDFS, we kind of got all of this history data together. The website navigation, what pages, what sort of pages have they gone, are they going to, kind of mainly sports pages, beauty pages, what sort of videos have they watched, what sort of ads have they clicked, what sort of ads they skipped, what sort of content they watched. That some of these websites also had a continuous kind of pop-up surveys which was asking questions around some of the demographic questions on age and gender. And you probably only for 1 or 2% of the cases people respond to that, and that data is also kind of, by the way, available. Now, when you put all of this data together in a way that you can really run queries through all of them, properly indexed, kind of highly distributed across different machines, because the data size we are talking about is more than a few hundred GBs. When you do that, the next part really comes is, how do I create small segments within the overall customer base? Now, can I really do a dynamic qualification? Based on all of the pages they have visited, based on the type of videos they have watched, type of ads they had been interested in, type of contents they have seen, can I really, with certain probability, ascertain that this customer is coming? This customer is actually a female customer of age probably between 30 to 50, right? So that's the crux of the algorithm. Obviously we had to use a lot of machine learning algorithms to learn from this data, and then based on all of these, based on what they have seen before, based on the segments, based on the qualification, you have a dynamic recommendation happening on what videos and advertisements should be shown. And then you have a self-learning module which kind of reads back from what is happening when you are actually showing certain videos or certain advertisements. Some people are clicking, some people are not clicking. So you use that information to kind of keep on improving yourself over time. And that's really the overall module which helped to not only understand the customers in a much better way, but also make make recommendations which are much more personalized. And result, what happened? Obviously, we got a much higher satisfaction rate from the customers, saying that we had been tracking overall satisfaction on each of the websites, and we got a much higher satisfaction rate. We got much less cases where people are shown a particular video and then they skip it. We have much lower cases where we have shown an ad and people kind of close that ad. So it really significantly improved not only the experience of the customers, but also the ability to make money for that for the European media company. Having said that, let me go to the last illustration and situation, which is probably on the social monitoring space. I talked about one on the tracking, overall feedback tracking. I talked one example on the area of personalization, and the last one I'm going to talk about is on social monitoring of customer perception. Now, this is another company which is the golf entertainment complex. Now, if you really go to this place or this, it's basically a chain of retail shops or retail companies. We can probably call them less of a golf space than more an entertainment place. So you get food, you get all the other kind of excitements around. It's more a place where people who don't know golf can go together and have fun. Now you can really picture like a 240-yard outfield dartboard like targets, and if you're really hitting those targets, you're getting certain points. And this company had they had their own view on what are the real strengths for this company, and what is working out, what is not working out. And what they really wanted to get is, where do they stand on the social media? Are people talking about them? What exactly are the issues which is being discussed and talked about? What is the sentiments aligned with each one of them? And then trying and understanding that what areas customers want them to really improve. Now what we did, on the next page, is basically we tried to first and foremost, we kind of got data from areas like Facebook, Twitter, some of the review sites like Yelp, TripAdvisors, and others. And the idea was to first and foremost measure the buzz and engagement. How many people are talking about it? How many people are retweeting, are kind of mentioning, while they're kind of writing about anything to do with golf or entertainment. The second part was really assessing the competitive scenario. Now, what we call a share of voice. Now, if 100 people are talking about such things, how many people are talking about them as compared to their competitors in that space? The third part was, as I talked about before, you can come back and say that, people are talking negative about you in social media. That does not really give any positive opportunity for you to kind of make any change. The idea is that, can I really identify what are people talking about? Like, for an example, for the golf company, people are talking about the Bay Area, the area where the game is happening. The ground, the pricing, the parking space, the food which was available, the staffs which are managing and kind of providing them all the foods and all the other amenities. And so you basically, what we had to do is really not only look at sentiments and mentions from the standpoint of overall the golf company, but also within that golf company, are people talking very positive things about the Bay Area, the golf game itself, or the food, or the parking area? And then that really gave much more stronger results on saying that, okay, by the way, people are very excited about certain areas which we might not be even knowing about. Like, for an example, people were more excited about the food, about the fun part of the activities as compared to the golf ball and the technology, which they were all thinking that that's like the most positive thing which people will talk about. And then the next part was really, how do you correlate some of the sentiments of positive and negative sentiments with overall satisfaction? Now, depending on somebody who is talking about certain of these things from comments and unstructured data standpoint, and relate it back to overall satisfaction and say that what exactly having an overall importance on improving satisfaction. Is it food quality which is going to improve satisfaction? I understand that I might be doing well on food quality, but does it really have a high level of importance on overall satisfaction? And that really gave a completely different type of view about about their customer experience and what they used to believe. Now, things like pricing, things like availability of parking, because it used to be so crowded in the evening on few of the days that people did not have space for parking, and they had to kind of go back, or they had to wait for a long period of time before their turn used to come. Those were the irritants which came up very significantly, and they had absolutely no clue about it. Now, you can really get these surprises when you are not tracking your customers in a much more effective way. Not only from one source, which is like what customers are telling you on the ground, but also if you don't try to kind of get data from social and other sources. And if you look at the crux of the story, there are two parts, right? One, how do I really go through this textual information and peel them out and basically say that, okay, what exactly are the things which is being talked about? Like for an example, in the left-hand side, you can see the example. I love the food and drink services that is at, at every heating mat, and the prices were not completely outrageous, right? So you can see that, people are talking about food and beverages, people are talking about pricing, and they're showing different sentiments. So there are the places like food and beverages, people are probably much more positive, while on the pricing, people are talking much more maybe neutral to negative. And on the next side is that we cannot really stop at kind of just understanding what is happening. We need probably machine learning, analytic solution, how we can link that with overall satisfaction. And all of these are really possible when you really put down overall big data kind of setup. In this case, probably you need things like MongoDB and others to kind of handle such kind of unstructured data. Now that's where I'll probably stop. I try to kind of give few examples of scenarios, but the idea is that it's really a budding field. Customer experience